In the blink of an eye, everything changed in 2020. I personally had plans to do some travel this year, and I felt truly hopeful that it would be a year where good things happened, as 2019 was extremely challenging for me. I was looking forward to adventures and new experiences. Then COVID-19 happened, and the world changed as we entered into a pandemic. As I watched the scenarios unfold around the world, I began to feel a sense of doom. I felt in my heart that our world, my world, would never be the same again. What is it about familiarity that comforts us so? At times in my life when things changed at a breakneck pace, I often would cling to something familiar as I was being swept along the tsunami of change. When COVID-19 happened, all the rules we played by changed. I held on fast to the little things that were familiar and constant. I listened to music, I kept reading my treasured novels, I did my exercises and my mindfulness and my meditations. This helped me to survive all of the changes that has happened so far. One of the things that I held on to while the tide of COVID-19 swirled around me was the kindness that I continued to see from some persons. In the early stages when we were all isolating, there were so many stories of people reaching out to help each other. I know that there were also stories of those who did not contribute kindness, but I preferred to focus on the kind acts that prevailed. For a brief while, there was a sense of community, of one humanity, as we struggled to find our footing in a pandemic. We admired and cheered on the frontline workers, from healthcare professionals to those who continued in customer service jobs. We hunkered down in our homes, sometimes in fear, as we gratefully waited for things to be delivered to our doorstep. We had gratitude for a short while, and we were united. But that unity seemed somewhat short-lived, and now some seemed to be going their separate ways. What saddened me immensely was the tremendous loss of life of the elderly in nursing homes, and I'm speaking about the situation in Canada where I live, although I know that every country lost their elderly as well. My husband was in a nursing home when he died a year and a half ago. I was there every day during his dying for 12 days, holding his hand, touching his face, speaking to him, and just honoring the time we had together that was so precious. I cannot imagine the sorrow families felt when they could not be with their dying elders when things went into lockdown. I cannot imagine the bewilderment, sorrow, shock, and grief of the elderly as they lay dying alone, moment by moment, with no one to sit with them, no one to hold their hand, and no one to soothe their fears. As we are slowly coming out of lockdown, there are a lot of people who are still afraid, who are alone, scared, sad, and depressed. If you know someone who is hurting or lonely, or just not coping well with COVID, please consider reaching out or even telling someone else about it so they can reach out. We are all one humanity. Please help. Be blessed, and please remember to be kind as it matters. I would really appreciate it if you could support me and this channel. You can do this by liking, subscribing, and sharing the video with your friends, because you too can help spread the message. Thank you.